Yeah, good morning again. We are talking about teaching perseverance. We have heard a lot about perseverance. It is about the sustained effort to achieve a goal. Simple thing. I want to achieve a goal, and I'm continuously working to achieve that goal despite any difficulties, despite any breaks in between, despite any shortcomings. I mean, no reason can stop me from achieving that goal. This is what we want to understand how to teach our children. This is one of my favorite topics in the teacher training we do, parent training we do, is on establishing rhythms. You know, whether it is cloudy, rainy, seasonal change, sun will rise. That's rhythm, right? Heartbeat is a rhythm. Now imagine when there is a disturbance to that rhythm, life falls apart. Something similar we see happening with ourselves. To achieve some things, we tell our children that they must achieve higher marks in board exams. Let's say it's a 10th grade. But we begin forcing that right from kindergarten. Now, that is not a sustained effort. That's like a forceful effort we are doing in a shorter period of time. The objective must be very clear. The goal I set must be very clear. And then I establish this rhythm, slow, consistent, repeated efforts. Repetition is another R. Rhythm is the first R. Repetition is the second R. I need to repeat the effort every single day, every so often. Rhythm could be, I practice yoga every Saturday, but then it is every Saturday for the rest of, I don't want to say my life, but for a long time until I achieve a goal of doing sitting in a Vajrasana. But that's a consistent effort, sustained effort. That's perseverance. Until I can sit comfortably in Vajrasana, I'm not going to give up. And I will put an effort every Saturday. It may take me 5 years, it may take me 10 years, but that that confidence of putting the effort every week is what builds that muscle to persevere. We want all of us to persevere. We keep telling children, don't worry, you will get better marks, but you have to work hard, you do this, and we don't tell them how. So somewhere, this goal that I want to achieve, it has to be incrementally brought in, and it'll incrementally get harder. So let's say, for example, we want to develop child's handwriting. It's not about asking child to write 20 times every day because they lose interest. So there has to be this sustained interest also. So I begin with, let's say it's a first standard child, one sentence in your most beautiful handwriting. And I do that every single day. One sentence in your most beautiful handwriting. And then look at it. How do you see it? Do you like your handwriting? Do you like the way you form that letter A or a B, whatever? And let's look at what else have you written. Do you like the other page? Yes, fantastic. No, why were you not able to do it in your best handwriting? So that's a reflection. So I'm bringing in an element of observing and figuring out what made the child to not write so beautifully. And the child might say, there was no time, I had to copy from the board, or I was tired, whatever. Then you find a solution for it. And then you keep repeating this process. One sentence every single day, look at it, reflect on it, and see how you can build it into all other lines that I write during the day and work over a period of time. Once I establish writing beautifully, I might want to write faster. So let's say, how much do we write in 1 minute? Keep that 1 minute only. And today I wrote one sentence. Week from now, maybe I wrote two more words from the next sentence. And a month from now, I'll be able to write two sentences. That is cumulative building up, sustained effort. And in 6 months' time, within 1 minute, I'm able to write three sentences. So once that is established, now I'm not going to stop there, right? So it is incrementally getting harder because child is also picking up the skills, building that muscle. Over a period of time, we are going to be building up that goal of writing fast, writing correct, and in my most beautiful handwriting. So once I've established a certain speed for the age of the child, I will say, now can we write with perfect spellings? Or even before spelling, you could do punctuations. Begin every line with an uppercase, end it with a full stop. Can we do that? And build on that. So over a period of time, by the time child comes into the 10th grade, they'll be writing beautifully, they'll be writing it fast, they will have no errors, and a goal achieved to get that perfect marks in my board exams. And this goes with everything. You can see lots of examples in your family, in your um, surroundings. In my time when I was growing up, building a home was a lifetime achievement. So saving money was a persistent effort. It took a lot of perseverance. They had a goal in mind. When I retire, I need to go into my own home. So it was 20, 30, 40-year project of saving money consistently every month. Go put away 100 rupees, 50 rupees, invest it in, I mean, then common people did not know much about stocks and bonds. At least my family did not know. So it was, put it in a bank, put in an FD, and build it. So I can be able to live in my own house when I retire. So that was a goal. There was persistent effort of saving every month, despite any difficulties. There was maybe a wedding sometime. They probably were not able to put away that 100 rupees they had intended to. So I remember my mother doing this. She would put away 80 rupees, for example. And next month she would struggle to make it up. So next month it was 105, another 105, 105 to make up that last 20 rupees in 1 month. So it's not like very rigid. That's what rhythm comes about. Rhythm is about doing it. Maybe there is a little variation. So saving is mandatory every month on certain day. Go put your deposit your savings in an account, but then how much and adjusting that. So I get to the goal. That is persistent effort and incrementally getting harder. With regard to savings, anytime you got a bonus, we never went on a vacation. We never went and bought clothes. She put away another 100 extra, right? So because it was getting harder because we were all growing up, we had different needs and demands. So Putting away that 100 itself was getting harder each passing day, but she had to figure ways out, right? There's another example. My niece, she participated in the 4,000-mile biking uh, on the bike, on the cycle. This was in the US from Austin to Alaska. It's 4,000 miles. And they went over like 45 days, the entire summer vacation. This was about 2 years, 3 years ago. And she was in the college, about 20-year-old. It didn't happen in one event. I mean, to train for those 45 days, that whole year they trained very rigorously. Every weekend they would go on 30-mile ride, 40-mile ride, and against different terrains, uphill, downhill, in different weather conditions for a whole year. But it was that 1 year training was also not enough. I mean, she had to do that right from it, as I know, at least 5 to 6 years before that. So she started working on that since she was like 13, 14. And I, as a parent, have to support such efforts. I know her father would actually ride with her every Saturday and Sunday morning. And that boosted her confidence. And they would both jolly ride for some time, but then take it seriously for the second half or the 80% of the time, every weekend. I mean, intention was to participate in this 4K marathon sometime, maybe not when she was 20. Maybe it was 22, maybe it was 25. That's perseverance. It is not that I will achieve the goal in 2 years. Of course, it's essential, it could be possible. And what we take up must be an achievable goal. For example, right now, I cannot say I will climb Mount Everest and persevere and build that. No, I can't. My knees hurt. I haven't even walked for 5 kilometers at a stretch every single day. Now, climbing a mountain in different climatic conditions is something not achievable for me at this point of time. And there have been people, the strong-willed people will say, despite any conditions, despite my knee pain, I will do it. That's possibility too. But I should see if it is achievable for me, if my heart beats for, if I resonate with it. And that is why we see all of us parents want our children to do extremely well in the academics, get into the best colleges, get the best jobs. But somewhere we miss is that resonating with the child. Is child more interested in music than in math? And is there a possibility to bring music into math or math into music and still do academically fairly well, but explore the field of music? I have a relative that way too. I mean, he did very well in the academics. He also maintains his music practice to this day. So there has to be some inner desire, and of course, outer world needs us to perform for our livelihood. So there is another concept called zone of proximal development, ZPD. It was given by Vygotsky. What he says there is if I'm able to walk 10 steps, I mean, that's too little. So let's say I'm able to walk 2 kilometers. And if my goal is to achieve walking at a stretch 10 kilometers. So I don't jump from 2 to 5 in 1 week. So I go from 2 to 2.2 kilometers, zero point 0.2 more, 200 meters more. Possible, it won't wear me out, it won't demotivate me. It will still make me want to go the next day. but I have achieved the 200 meters extra. That is zone of proximal development. If I'm capable of walking 2 kilometers, give me that point 0.2 extra. I can achieve it. But if you give me 1.8, it's easy peasy. I'm comfortable with 2 already. So I'm not motivated to do it because I know I can do it. So once I achieve 2.2, give me 2.5. Maybe not another 2. Now you can do zero point 0.2 more, give zero point 0.3 more. Right? So it is hard enough to put effort, but achievable. So that is repetition that we continue. Right? Once we build it up, and that's called building the muscle for it. I mean, physical muscle, also that imagination, the motivation that I need to have to get up and go every morning for that 2.2 kilometer walk. Because there is a goal. I want to be fit. I want to participate in this marathon. Or my child is doing it and I want to support my child for it. Because children do learn from their environment, definitely from us people, the most influential people in their lives, the teachers and the parents. They look at us. Am I just sitting and advising, expecting, demanding, ridiculing if they're not doing it? Or am I also doing it? See, when I do it, I understand the difficulties. For example, I had gone on this full moon walk. I mean, this is a group that goes every full moon. They start from the center place and walk to any village nearby that has a lake or a river or something like that. So this particular one was 32 kilometers long, and we walked through all night. And I wanted to do it, but I had never walked that long ever in my life. And people said, yeah, 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 you can do it, no problem. There are 70-year-olds who come and do it. There are young children who come and do it. You can definitely do it. Go ahead for it, do it. I mean, I just took it. And, I go in there. We had our dinner at 9 o'clock, and 9:30 we set out. There were breaks in between, but first few kilometers, 4, 5 kilometers was okay. And then I saw these ladies, I was all prepared with my shoes and comfortable clothes and whatnot, but these ladies from villages had come, some barefoot, um, in whatever clothes they were in. I mean, I was like, oh my God, look at them. They're so fit. And they were like 25, 30 years older than me. There was one grandmother, she was almost 75, and she kept going at such a beautiful pace. And I cannot give up. I need to catch up. I need to catch up. And about 1, 2 a.m., I was beginning to crash. I couldn't walk. I mean, it was probably 12, 13 kilometers. I started taking longer breaks and started sitting out and but continued to pull until about 3 a.m. Then I just couldn't do. They did have like a couple vehicles for people who could not manage. We could just ride in that. So I just went and sat in that. And because I put all that effort at one stretch, I developed a backache, because I had to like maintain my posture, that speed, intensity without preparation at all. And now, if anyone asks me, will you come on a moonwalk, full moon walk, night walk? Oh, no. I gave up. So, doing some things too fast, too quickly, without preparation, without rhythmic effort, without reflection on my effort that I need to put in, the breaks I need to take, how much food I should have had for dinner and what kind of drinks I need to carry to sustain my energy. All of that is preparation. That needs time. It's not just achieving that goal. The process also must be enjoyable. Only then it sustains. And bringing that for my children to learn is I doing it. And talking about, when I could not achieve this, um, walking marathon, I was not prepared. I didn't practice. I just agreed to whatever people said. I thought if they could do, I could do. All these comparisons, not preparation, they are the problems that I talk about to my children. So anytime somebody is pushing them to do something, they'll say, they'll wait a minute. No, 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 no. Something like this happened to my mother, and she did not enjoy it. She, after that, gave up. So I want to wait and watch, wait and think about it. That'll give them a checkpoint to see if I'm going towards my goal, if the speed is good enough. So talking about my problems that I face and how I overcame or how I gave up, how I thought it was a bad idea, and I put in a lot of effort, but then I decided this is not good for me and I dropped it. That is also a good thing. I persevered, maybe on the wrong path. That's okay to come back. So we need to model it. We need to put effort. We need to have that rhythm. We need to repeat it. And finally comes the reverence. Rhythm, repetition, and reverence. Reverence is the gratitude with which I'm doing this process. Why am I doing this? I want to get the best marks. I want to be the topper. Why? And for me to get those top marks, who are those people or what are the situations that are supporting me, helping me? Have gratitude for that. Not when I get the results, on daily basis. That should that is something I should demonstrate also to my children, whether I'm a parent or a teacher. I magically perseverance doesn't drop on our lap. We are conditioned, just like how we talked about fear of rejection, fear of uh, failures, wanting to please people. All that came because we acquired from the environment. Similarly, perseverance is also acquired, can also be acquired, and I need to demonstrate it. So keep in mind the rhythm, repetition, and reverence, and I need to model it for children to develop that perseverance. Good luck.